Good morning, everybody. I hope you all are doing well. Today it's going to be the Alia and Caleb show. Dr. Kiltz got in really late, and we had a huge event yesterday, and so I'm here with you. Thank you for being here. And our guest this morning is Caleb, who is 16 years old, and he is going to tell us about his carnivore experience. Go ahead, Caleb.
Well, good morning, everybody. My name's Caleb. I'm 16 years old. I started carnivore when I was 15 and a half, roughly. And I originally started it to lose weight. I was like 220 pounds at 5'6", so not great. Definitely not a place where I want to be. I'd probably want to be closer to 140 pounds, 150 pounds. So I originally started it for that, and I started it more as a last resort. I had tried pretty much everything else. I'd done calorie restricting. I'd even done low carb, like sub 10 carbs a day. And I've done Whole30, paleo. I've tried everything but vegan and vegetarian, because I looked at vegan and vegetarian and was like, no, you look gross. I had an aunt who did vegan for like a couple of years, and she literally was like, I can't do this anymore. I got to eat meat again. It was interesting to watch, but definitely a good example of how not to eat, most likely. So in the first month, I dropped like 80% of my depression that I had originally had for that year. My birthday is right at the beginning of the year, so about 6 months worth of like just a horrible time. And my life wasn't bad. I just didn't find any joy in it. And we were doing things, going rock climbing, seeing friends, planning a move to a state I wanted to move to, and seeing family I wanted to see, and I didn't appreciate any of it. After a month, the majority of that was gone, and I was able to be happy again. And it was an interesting moment because I was just like, wow, I'm happy, which is so strange. And I was kind of sad that it was a strange feeling, because that shouldn't be a strange feeling, especially for someone so young. If you're 80 years old and you've been depressed for 10 years, that's horrible. But it's more likely than if you're 15 years old and life just started and everything's supposed to be great and peachy. So in the first month, I think I lost 15 pounds, which
nice.
I had dropped a lot of weight really fast before. One time I calorie restricted and I was eating like 1,200 calories a day, which is like super, super low for any of you guys that don't know about calorie counting. And I dropped a lot of weight. I got all the way down to 177 pounds from 230 pounds.
Wow.
And a lot of that was from calorie restricting. I was still able to do the same amount of push-ups by the end of it, which means I got extremely weak. Because if you drop 60 pounds and you're still able to only do the same amount of push-ups, something got weaker. I was looking weak too. My arms were like that big. So I was not getting stronger. Now I compared photos of day 100 to now. My forearms are like twice the size. They're like way bigger.
Oh, wow. And do you exercise?
I do now. Recently I have. Exercise is an interesting one. I used to exercise to look a certain way. More like bodybuilder style exercising. I now just train to be stronger than as many people as I can be stronger than. So I train like intense heavy sets of like 5 reps and a few sets of that. And I give myself like 2-3 days of rest between each workout and stuff. So it's just training to be a lot stronger than everyone else.
That's cool. How did you find carnivore?
I was on YouTube Shorts, doom scrolling, and I found Mikhaila Peterson saying that she ate strip loin 3 times a day. And I was like, what the heck? So I looked into it and I was like, I didn't know you could do this. I didn't know this was an option for the diets I could choose. And then I looked into it and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then I found Steak and Butter Gal. And I was like, this might be legit. This might be real. So personally, I'm a pretty open-minded person. I wasn't like, carnivore could never work. I'm going to die of a cholesterol attack. I'm going to OD on red meat or something. I didn't really have that mindset. I was kind of like, sure, why not? If vegans do that stuff, I'm sure carnivore could work in some way. So I looked into it. I've known what carnivore is for almost 2 years now, probably. And a little over a year ago, at the beginning of last year, I did Lion Diet for 3 days just to try it.
Yeah.
And I lost 7.5 pounds in 3 days.
Crazy.
And I was like, 7.5 pounds of what? Can't lose 7.5 pounds of fat in 3 days. That's like impossible. I would have had to have been jumping off the walls for 26 hours a day.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen. I think a lot of it was just inflammation and bloating and whatnot. Because I think I was 185 pounds after I lost the 7.5 pounds, and I was able to see my abs. And I was like, I still got another 35 pounds to lose. Why can't I see my abs right now? That shouldn't be happening. So that's kind of how I figured out about it. I tried it once or twice and failed it once or twice and like couldn't do it anymore.
Okay.
But now after my parents were like, hey, we're coming back from our trip to Idaho. We currently weren't living in Idaho at that time. And they were like, we're going to try carnivore for 30 days. Do you want to try it with us? And I was like, yep, sure do. It's going to be way easier to start out with someone else because it'll be like accountability.
Right.
And so we did it. After the 30 days, my parents kind of like went back to eating, however, because they did it for 30 days. And they're like, cool, we're moving. So they were going out to dinner with all the people we were saying goodbye to. So it's kind of like they kind of just went out of it. I was like, I am never going back to eating anything right now, because I feel way too good. My anxiety is like so low right now. My stress is so low. My depression is like gone. I'm feeling happy and good again. I'm losing weight, all the good things. So I'm not stopping this right now.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I'm so happy. I wish I knew this at 16. And I think everybody in the chat wish they knew this at 16, everybody watching. So
I had $1 for every time someone said that, I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy. So we were talking before, and you live in a family of 9?
Yep, family of 9. Was a family of 10 when I lived with my grandma, but since we've moved out, she now still lives in Nevada. So we used to live with 10 of us in the same house.
Wow.
So yeah, it's 9. It's 9 in the same house. I have 1 older brother, 2 younger brothers, and 3 younger sisters. So, and both my parents and my dad works from home. So he's also in the house pretty much full time.
Oh, okay. So. And what's it like? So you're doing your carnivore diet. Was it hard at the beginning having so many different people eating so many different things?
No, I consider myself a relatively strong-willed person. I have willpowered my way through so many different diets. This was like a cakewalk because it's been the easiest thing I've ever done. And I remember distinctly the day before I started carnivore, I downed a pint of ice cream, being like, I'm never going to eat this stuff again, so I might as well eat some of it now while I can. And I like loaded up on crap the day before I started it, and I was totally fine. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, that ice cream I ate yesterday, I want more now. I was just like, I've committed. So, and it's so much easier to do carnivore than anything else I've done.
Right.
So, kind of just cruising.
Okay, that's awesome. So Larry, he's from Chicago. He says, we wish we did this at 16 or even at 30. And then this is Thomas, Target Primer. Caleb, my father was one of 9 children. There you go. I want to say, if anyone has any questions for Caleb, please feel free to put them in the chat. We will answer them, or he will answer them. And then the hashtag today, we're still giving away 2 air fryers, tasty air fryers. So put hashtag tasty in the chat, and we will do that at my time, 4:50 a.m. Caleb's time, 3:50 a.m. He's in the mountains. So where are you right now? So you're not waking everybody up.
In my garage, the place where I do the interviews and stuff right now. I don't have any like filming studio.
Yeah.
When we get our next house, I'm probably gonna set up something that I can go sit inside. It'll be like a 10 by 10 room in the middle of our property. That'll be soundproof that I can go into and record videos and stuff.
Cool. Oh man, that's awesome. And have you gone on other people's channels before to share your story, or is this the first time?
No, this is not my first time. I've been on Cindy DeMantis channel. I've been on Homestead How. I've been on Dave Mack's channel. I think that's everybody that I can think of right now.
Yeah.
But I've been on a few channels.
Awesome. So. That's so cool. Let's see. I was going to say, I hope from Haley. I was going to say, I hope he has a channel to encourage other young people. There you go.
That I do.
Yeah. And I'm curious, in your YouTube analytics, do you have any young people watching you?
Yes, actually, I do have some young people watching me.
Okay,
I
good.
believe the majority of people watching me are in the like 25-year-old range.
Okay,
So
fine.
not that bad. Better
Not that
than
bad.
most carnivore channels who are like averaging in the 50 to 60-year range. So still
Yeah.
younger audience. I have a very I think it's like 12% of people are under the age of like 20.
Okay.
So not bad.
But still, 20's better. 20's better for
Yeah.
sure in your 20s. Here you go. Thomas, how long can you do your ice baths now?
Okay. So right now, since it's not winter anymore and outside is no longer cold, I haven't been doing ice baths. The only reason I was able to do ice baths is because it was like 17 degrees outside. So I was able to just put the ice bath out there, fill it with water, come back the next day, and it'd be frozen. So then I could do them. It's no longer cold. Now, I'm willing to bet that if I were to do an ice bath, I could probably go for pretty much however long I wanted. So let's say 7 to 10 minutes if I really wanted to. I only do them for 2. I only do them for like 2 to 5, mostly just 2 if it's cold, because that's kind of where the benefits kind of end. Because once you've done it for like, I think it's a total of 11 minutes throughout the entire week worth of ice bath. So it's roughly 2 minutes a day.
Okay.
So I was like, why would I do it more if I reap all the benefits at this? So I can do it for longer. I just choose not to. I still do cold showers though, every morning and every night. Pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, those usually last like 4 or 5 minutes. It's not freezing where I live. It's averaging like in the 50s to 60s and stuff. So it's not cold to me, but some people might think it's cold.
Okay, I understand. Let me see here. You got another question. I gotta find it. I was trying to pull up your channel because people are asking for your channel. Okay. What are your favorite meals?
Right now, my favorite. I actually recently made my own like carnivore bar pemmican bars.
Yeah.
It ended up costing me like $3 a bar, and I was like, dude, that's like $15 cheaper than a carnivore bar. I'm just gonna keep making these. So
they're so expensive.
I really like them actually. I really like the texture of them because just plain ground beef, I don't like the texture very much. To me, it's like eating a beef sponge, and I'm like, not a huge fan. So this is way easier, way better, and I can get a lot more volume in like this because it's just a bar and it's half a pound of beef every bar, so it's way easier. Right now, I would say that and bacon, but I'm not currently eating bacon, so carnivore bars.
Carnivore bars. Are you? How long are you planning on doing Lion for?
Currently a week. If the week goes well, I'll extend it to a month. And I'm playing it by ear, and I'm kind of seeing where it goes.
I need to read this one comment. I heard you. That makes sense. Lewis, oh no, do we lose Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Nelson? Too much meetup partying. Okay, so yeah, Dr. Kiltz got home very late last night. I think at like 1 a.m. And I'm not sure about Dr. Nelson. I got home late also, but I was so excited that I did not cancel because I wanted to talk to Caleb. So here we go. Let's see. We have another question. Eleni, oh my God, I was just talking to my dad about making my own carnivore bars too. How do you make them?
It's way easier than it looks. Carnivore bar has no right to charge $20 a bar. Essentially, it's super, super simple. You take your ground beef. I usually do it 3 pounds at a time. You cook the living heck out of it. You get it like crispy. You cook it way past when you would usually eat it. You set your oven to like 180 degrees Fahrenheit. You chuck it in there on some cookie sheets with parchment paper so that, it doesn't stick or anything. And you leave it in there for like 8 hours, 10 hours or something like that. And you take it out, you blend it up, you mix it with beef fat, you put it in the fridge in, bar-shaped molds or whatever, and that's it. It's so easy. And I thought making pemmican, which is what it is, I thought it was so complicated and was going to take like days of sun drying in the Himalayas or something. But no, it didn't take that. It was literally just my oven.
That's awesome. So, maybe like an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, something like that.
Nice. Brian, Fly Fisherman Dish. I thought Dr. Kilt said 6 a.m. I must have missed the memo and hit the live button an hour early. If he shows up at 6 a.m., we'll be done for sure. Let's see here. Vinny says, "Oh, that sounds so yummy." It does sound yummy and easy. All right, let me make sure. Here we go. Eve, what about Caleb's friends? Who has joined him?
None of them.
None of them.
None of them. And also considering that I have like 2 friends, no, not really. And I'm not really in touch with these friends because they live in the state that I came from. So
Right.
I haven't even had a ton of time to socialize with these people. So yeah, considering my list of friends is like 2 people long or something, there's not too many people to convince to go carnivore. And the friend that I do have who I'm, relatively in contact with, I've been friends with him since we were like 2 years old. Me, him, and my brother Levi. So, And he's super athletic. He's very strong. He does sports. His issue that he would benefit from carnivore from is he is super, super prone to injury. Like, it's insane. He tore his pelvis. He dislocates his shoulders all the time. And he's 17. He's almost 17 now. And he's just, like, super prone to injury. And everything else is fine. But he gets injured, like, so much. It's crazy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he would definitely benefit from this. So let's see here. This is from Sharon. What does the family do at home? How is grandma and what does she eat?
Grandma eats whatever grandma wants, pretty much. It would be extreme. I think it would be pretty hard for me or my dad to convince my grandma to eat carnivore.
Yeah.
At least the grandma that I'm talking about. I still have both my grandmas.
Nice.
Both. Yeah. So it would be kind of difficult to get her to go carnivore, just because that's just not what she's used to.
Yeah.
And she's lost a lot of weight and gained some weight in the past. So, like, unhealthily. So I think she's 5'8", and she got all the way down to like 90 pounds one time, which is like dead almost.
Yeah.
And I remember she was so weak. My dad said one time when I think he was 19 or 20, he had to carry her out of like a bathroom or something because she was so weak she couldn't like move. I was like, that's crazy. That's a super like unhealthy relationship with food right there.
Right.
But the family also eats what the family wants, but my mom has definitely integrated a lot more beef in what we eat, or what the others eat rather.
Okay. That's nice. Yeah. Oh man, cooking for 9 people, or I guess not you.
No, the thing is, I've always liked to cook and been pretty good at it. I've been cooking my own food since I was like 10, just because I liked it.
Yeah. It probably makes life easier for your mom. One less mouth.
And easier for me because I got to make what I want.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, true. So do you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or what's your eating schedule like?
It's super out of whack right now. I eat when I'm hungry pretty much, and that changes a lot.
Yeah.
I want to try the priming thing that the Steak and Butter Gang does.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about that because I've heard people being like, I've been carnivore for 4 years and haven't lost any weight. I did the priming protocol and all my weight's gone. I'm like, I would love to fact check this with my own body and try it myself. I use myself as my guinea pig. If I'm suspicious of something, I usually do it myself and try it out for myself. Unless it's like crazy or something or, unhealthy, then I won't. But something like that, I would love to try eventually, probably within the next month, honestly.
Oh, awesome. I'm trying to see, because we're streaming also on Instagram. I don't see any questions over here, but if you have any questions from Instagram, please.
No Target Prime Rib. I have not met Anthony Chafee yet.
Oh, I don't think you mean, did you say Anthony?
I see Anthony on there. No, I have.
Oh, I thought he said Anthony Chafee too. There's a guy named Carnivore Guy on Instagram. Apparently he's 16.
Okay, interesting. No, then I haven't met him.
There you go.
I thought you were talking about Anthony Chafee.
I'll introduce. I'll
He's on
introduce
like,
you to
yeah,
Chafee.
he's on like the top of my list of carnivores I want to meet. He was the guy I went to. He was essentially my Ken Berry. Everyone's like, I went to Ken Berry for everything and watched all of his videos. I went to Anthony Chafee for everything and watched all his videos.
Aw,
That's
I
what
love
I
that.
went to. It was such a good experience to like binge watch his videos and learn all the stuff. He's where I learned all my carnivore facts from.
Awesome. Awesome. Tell you what, I will introduce you to Anthony Chafee via email.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'll be
you
at
should-
Hack Your Health this
You
year.
are?
Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
going to that. So I'll hopefully be able to meet him in person too.
That'd be great. Come and find me. I'll be at the Kilt's Health booth. It looks
I
like
will.
this.
I'll show up. I'll be there. I wanna be with all the people. I wanna get pictures with everybody. A kind of side quest in my Carnivore Quest channel. I haven't really told anyone on my channel. Is I want to get a picture with all the carnivore names. And I want to have proof of existence with all of them, and have that as like my banner frame for my YouTube channel.
Yeah. Awesome. I need to actually pop up your YouTube channel. Let me try this. I want to show everybody what your YouTube channel is, then we'll take some more questions. Sorry. Share screen. And I'm going to say, please subscribe to Young Caleb's channel. Here we go. I'm going to put the channel in the comments. Here we go.
I mostly do shorts, by the way. I don't only have 2 videos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought so. I see your shorts all the time.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier.
A lot easier to make, a lot easier to post, and a lot easier to get like people to watch them.
Oh, yeah. I understand. Cool. Here's some shorts.
Yeah, I'm so close to making a short break 1,000 views. I'm like,
you'll get there.
I have 2 shorts with like 950 views. I was like, oh, yeah. So close. Like, just gotta make the next video even better.
Let me see here. Okay, yeah, exactly. Somebody's saying, oh, you already got a subscriber. Thomas, Target Prime Rib. Yay. Brisket Boomer says, I think I'm already subscribed. I'm subscribed also since Carrie. I think Carrie's the one that told me about you, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he said I should have you on the channel. So I'm glad he introduced me to you.
That's cool.
Brisket, yeah, Carrie's the best. Brisket Boomers, I think I'm already subscribed. Yay. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome that you're doing this because we need more people that are younger understanding how to eat healthier.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't know, like I felt being like going through puberty was so hard for me. Lots of that depression and anxiety, and I had nobody to talk to, and I didn't know I could talk to anybody. And, there we go. So it's great. I think a lot of kids go through that also. And I don't feel bad. I'm literally old enough to be your mom, so I can call you a kid. A lot of teens go through that when you hit puberty and all the changes. And if we just knew to eat the right foods and the foods that are amazing, bacon, eggs, bacon cheeseburgers, like I don't know if you're so young and your body is not totally destroyed, if you have to be as strict on carnivore, so you can just eat delicious food all day,
Yeah. For the longest time, I was doing seasonings and hot sauces and stuff like that on carnivore, and my body handled it fine. Yeah. I have like pretty much no prior damage to my body except for when I was 7, I broke my arm and I broke one of the joint bones in my elbow. So they had to reset it. So they put me under and they put me on this like kid anesthesia or something. Yeah. And one of the potential side effects is damaged metabolism, which is like, that's pretty bad. Metabolic disease and having a slow metabolism is not great to have. So that's another plus to carnivore, to heal my metabolism.
Nice. So great.
It's more like speculation. We don't know for sure if that's why, but after I was 7 or 8, I started to gain a lot of weight really quickly. So it's more speculation.
Right. I understand. Let's see here. We got like 5 more questions here. Brisket Boomers Amy, what does Caleb think about how many older people are in carnivore? Is it hard to relate?
I think a lot of it's kind of hard to relate because most of these people aren't having any of the same like benefits as I am, because they're like, I'm reversing diabetes, and I'm like, I've never had diabetes. None of my friends have diabetes. None of the people I've met who are my age have diabetes. So it's like, it's very hard to relate as far as that goes. And then
Yeah.
even the ones that are like, I don't have cancer anymore. Like those are awesome, wonderful things. But most
Yeah.
people my age aren't getting cancer or diabetes or heart
Thank God.
disease or anything like that. Most of us are we have like emotional issues. I think a lot nowadays people are just labeling things as whatever. Like someone will have a sad day and they'll say that they're depressed now and they'll go
Yeah.
take depression meds and you're like, you weren't depressed, you just weren't having a good day. And I think we just like over prescribe things nowadays a lot.
Absolutely.
So most of my generation's problems are more mental and emotional problems. And I think a lot of that has been caused by the negative of the internet, the negative side, where it's just like doom scrolling social media and stuff. I am very blessed that I found carnivore through doom scrolling. Like that was
I've never heard of
definitely-
that doom scrolling. So you're specifically
That's what it's called.
okay.
Yeah, when
Is
you
that-
sit there and you scroll for hours, it's called doom scrolling because you're literally throwing your life away just scrolling on social media like into doom.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at this. Eleni, I'm a pharmacist and totally agree with the over prescribing. So sad. Yeah, exactly. It makes me sad too.
Yeah.
I think it's a good point. Like, no, I've felt like as a teen, I didn't have, like I said, yeah, I've had like points of depression. I think it had to relate to hormone changes and not eating the correct food but yeah, I think that people just sometimes have a bad day and you need to get over it and have a good day,
Yeah, I mean, on carnivore, I've had bad days. Not
Yeah,
every
who
single
hasn't?
one of my days has been good. There have been
Sure.
plenty of off days or bad days, but like way less than usual.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's life. Stuff that's hard happens in life and we got to face it and confront it.
Yep.
Okay, Papa Carnivore. Caleb, why do you think more young people should consider doing carnivore versus standard American diet, vegetarian or vegan diets, etc.?
So I have a couple of good reasons for this. I was actually thinking about making a video on like my top 3 reasons why younger people should do carnivore. One is the weight, of course. No one likes to be overweight. It makes it really hard to do things. It makes it hard to run. It makes it hard to enjoy life. It makes it hard to do pull-ups, push-ups, become stronger through, things like calisthenics. 2, your emotional and mental health will improve. And for teenagers, the main thing is trying to get their emotional and mental health in check so that they can be functioning adults. If you're fueling your body with the proper fuel source, you will be a more better functioning adult. And 3, if I asked you when you could start living your best, happiest life, you would say you'd want to start today. You wouldn't want to start when you're 30, 50, or 80.
Right.
So those are some reasons that kind of came off the top of my head.
Nice. Those are great reasons. Haley. Yes, teens and their parents think it's depression, anxiety it's the food. Yeah. I think like I don't know if you can relate to this, but like if you're eating very bad food and that actually affects your sleep schedule, do you think that that's probably why you don't feel good mentally?
Probably. It's a combination of the couple of things. You fuel your body with the wrong fuel source. The wrong fuel source makes you not, be able to sleep well. So you can't recover very well. And you wake up the next day feeling like garbage and you wonder why. You're like, well, you didn't recharge your battery properly and you put the wrong fuel source in. So your entire body is running off of like vibes.
Yeah. Or fumes. Vibes.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay. It says, Polish Mike, a lot of young people can get away with doing sad diet often and are fairly active and do athletics. Yeah,
Exactly.
they can get away with it. That's right.
They can get away with it physically.
Yeah, physically.
Like my brother Levi is also very athletic, very strong. He eats literally whatever he wants. He has, I kid you not, a tub of Reese's peanut butter in the fridge that he bought one time and is still like eating off of and making peanut butter cookies like once a week to just like munch on them. He eats whatever he wants and he's still physically very fit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of as far as the physical goes, yeah, a lot of young people can get away with it. Less and less nowadays. I believe 50% of teenagers are obese.
Right.
So not mentally, emotionally, or even on the inside, like, their digestive systems or their metabolism or their immune system. I noticed when I got sick, I had to postpone my interview with Carrie for like a couple of weeks or something,
Yeah.
or like a week because I got
Yeah.
sick. I was sick for 2 days and it was like puking and stuff, and I was like better. I was like completely fine. Everyone else in my family was sick for like 5 to 7 days. And when I get sick, I'm usually sick for like a week. So that was an unexpected like benefit I was very happy for, because then I was able to go do the interview with Carrie like way sooner.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad. Being sick is not fun, but yeah, exactly. It takes so much. It's so much easier to recover from things.
For sure.
Finished. Hey, at Alia, what's your story to carnivore? Let me do my 3-minute story because I don't want to bore. I don't want to bore Caleb.
I haven't heard your story.
I'm 42. You have?
I have not heard your story.
Oh, you have? Oh, you haven't heard
No,
my story. Oh, okay.
I haven't been on Dr. Kiltz's channel that often because his live streams are at 3 a.m.
I know. For you.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was I'm trying to make it fast. So after I had kids in my 30s, I developed Hashimoto's. I didn't know what Hashimoto's was. And for Caleb, if you don't know what that is, that's when your thyroid, you have antibodies attacking your thyroid, and it makes the thyroid go down. So it's very easy to lose weight, like the hormones. It screws up the hormones, or gain weight. It's very easy to gain weight, but it also affects you mentally. You can feel very bipolar. And in fact, women with Hashimoto's often are prescribed bipolar medications because it's not correctly diagnosed that they have a thyroid condition. So I would cry at the drop of the hat. This went on for years, and I was very not much myself. And I would cry because how fat I was. I would look in the mirror and I would cry, or somebody would say something and cry, or look at me wrong and I would cry. And so you can call that depression, I guess. And sure it was, but that wasn't even like really the worst of it. I was eating tons of salads thinking that would help me lose weight. And yet I just had worse and worse irritable bowel issues, diarrhea for like 6 years, exhausted all the time. I have 2 young kids. I would work and force myself through my work. And then I would sit down on the couch and watch Disney movies because I had no energy to do anything else with my kids. So it was just like a combination. And I came to carnivore only out of, what's the word? Not pride, because I wanted to look less fat. That's why I came to carnivore. But in 3 days, and I had insomnia. I don't know. The list goes on. There's a ridiculously long list, 20 years of back pain and shoulder pain. I don't know. If I wrote the list down, it'd be crazy. So in 3 days, my life had completely changed on carnivore. I'm like, oh my God, I feel normal again. Like all of that weird mental stuff just went away. I was able to sleep again. In 3 days, I was cleaning my house. And the reason I bring that up is probably I didn't clean my house for 8 years, but my husband did because I had no energy and I didn't want to bend over. I'd hurt my back, or like I could pick up my kids again and not hurt my back. It was just life-changing. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. And that's what I've been doing for 2 years. And did I lose the 100 pounds I wanted to? No. Should I have lost 100 pounds? Probably not. But I've lost a lot of weight. And that's the story in a nutshell. And carnivore or divine or whatever your belief system is led me to Dr. Kiltz. And so I started my own YouTube channel like Caleb, and I call that like my apprenticeship to being able to work for Dr. Kiltz. So here I
am. That's cool. I can definitely relate to that story. I dislocated my knee when I was 13. Yeah. I was getting in the back of our 15-passenger van. My foot got stuck under one of the seats. And when I sat down, it clicked out of place. Freaked me out. I didn't know you could dislocate your kneecaps. I thought they were like there for good. And it moved. And I was like, I thought I wasn't going to be able to walk. I genuinely had no idea what was happening. I was like so freaked out. I trapped one of my friends in the car because my leg was in his way. So he was kind of there for a bit. He ended up climbing over the seats and getting out to go get my mom. So we drove to the hospital. We bumped over a rock and my knee clicked back into place. I was so thankful for that. I was freaked out. And it hurt too. Like after the adrenaline started wearing off, I was like, oh, this sucks. This feels so wrong. It feels like your kneecap is like grabbed and stretched out to the side of your knee, and then it's all locked in place, and every point of contact is like in pain. Oh, crazy. No. Crazy. I had pain in that knee forever since like dislocating it. I know I said forever. It's only been 3 years. So there was a time, I think a year and a half ago-ish, where we went to a birthday party and my knee pain was so bad and it felt so loose that I literally told my brother, I was like, hey, there's a high chance I dislocate my kneecap again today. Like, it totally could happen. We might have to drive to the hospital. And he was like, okay, I'll tell mom. It didn't happen, thankfully, but I have been able to yeet myself off our stairs now and be fine. And I can like jump and run around. And my knee doesn't hurt almost ever anymore. So I'm super thankful for that. And it's been 3 years. And I remember being told like a week after it happened, I was told that I'm guaranteed to dislocate it again in my life because it's now forever weaker. And I was like, what? I don't want to do that again.
No.
I want to do everything I can to stop that from happening. And
Sure.
Unintentionally, carnivore seems to have helped that a lot because it feels so much better and so much stronger than it used to.
Oh my God, sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at another comment. It says,
laugh at me. We live in America. Free speech. I don't care. I'm not going to get emotionally hurt because you're laughing at me. I've had worse.
So even though there's a good 20 plus years between us, apparently we look like brother and sister.
Yo, dude, I get crazy stuff like that all the time. When I went to the Arizona meetup for Healing Humanity in January, someone thought I was my mom's husband because I don't know if it shows up on camera because the light and stuff. I have facial hair. In person and in like darker lighting, it shows up a lot more. It's red, so it's hard to see on camera and stuff.
Yeah.
My hair's brown, but my beard's red, and that's because my dad's hair is red. So he gave me half his genetics as far as that goes.
It's really funny.
So someone also thought I was 25, and I was like, "Yo, come on, man, I'm not 25." So in the same day too, it was the same day. Someone thought I was 25, and someone thought I was my mom's husband. And I was like, "Dang."
So your mom must look really young also.
My mom does look young for sure. I've looked at pictures of her like 5, 7, 10 years ago, and she looks pretty much the same. My dad does too. They both look the same.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Do you drink coffee?
That's an interesting subject for me. I used to. I drank coffee for a couple of times on carnivore this run around this last year or so. And every time I drank it, I ended up getting anxiety every time. Like without fail, every time I would drink coffee, even if it was like just one cup, I would get anxiety. And one time it happened and my anxiety I got from it was so bad. I was in our laundry room telling myself like, you're good, you're fine, calm down. All right, move on. And then I like continued on with my day. And I was like, that was weird. What the heck? So no, I don't drink coffee right now. I personally want to avoid anything that induces anxiety.
Yeah, exactly. And coffee definitely makes that feeling happen for sure. Yeah. Somebody else asked, how did I find carnivore? And people are not going to believe me. I found carnivore I was following Eric Berg for many years. But he did an interview with a guy who lives in Ecuador. I can't remember his name, but who's a carnivore. He's an American who lives in Ecuador, like on a ranch. And that first was very resonating with me since I live in South America also, being from Chicago. But he wasn't ever fat, but he was talking about all of his back pain and joint pain going away with carnivore. And he was like my age. So that was my first really? This thing, carnivore diet? That sounds kind of crazy. You just eat meat? And I told my husband when we listened, he's like, that can't be healthy. But that was the introduction. And then I went down the carnivore rabbit hole, like so many others. And then Ken Berry, I think, was the one that convinced me to do carnivore. Oh, Brenda, thank you so much. I just wanted to show this. She says I have the skin of a porcelain doll. I'm going to tell you all my trick. It is carnivore, but you have to make your homemade bone broth from beef bones, whatever.
Beef bones, yeah, with all the bone marrow in them.
Yeah, and you get the front leg. If you can find a butcher and you can get the front leg of the cow, that's great. I get it for literally like an entire leg for like $4 where I'm from, and I'm wondering if you can get something similar. So you take like this much of the leg, you toss it in an Instant Pot, put water, 2 hours high pressure. You'll have like a week worth of gelatinous deliciousness, and then you just melt it down, put some water, butter. Your skin's going to look amazing. Skin will look amazing. And I'm going to thank Lisa Pickart for getting me down to bone broth. is like the fountain of youth. You're gonna look like you're 5, Caleb.
Only if I shave.
Yeah.
At the rate I'm going, I'm gonna have a lumberjack beard by the time I'm 20.
Probably, but with your brother that we were talking about, I don't know. We were talking about that before. That would help him also. Your brother who's interested in carnivore. That's going to clear up his
my brother
skin
James.
days.
Yep.
Days like it's. I mean, carnivore plus that miraculous.
For sure.
Okay, so we got that question. We got how I found carnivore. We got any other questions for anybody? Wow, we have 122 people watching. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this morning.
Hi, a whole crowd's worth of people.
Yeah,
that's
don't feel any pressure.
Eyes.
Don't feel any pressure.
Caleb. I don't. I'm more doing it for fun.
Yeah,
I don't feel very much pressure. I feel the least amount of pressure with live streams.
Oh, me too. It's a lot easier, right? You don't have to deal with the editing.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Eve, does Caleb eat raw meat? I eat the marrow raw, so I won't have to cook it. Do you eat raw meat?
No, not really. I'm not opposed to it as long if I were to eat raw meat, I would want it to be like grass fed from a butcher. I want the raw stuff to be as high quality as possible. Right now, a lot of my diet consists of burgers and carnivore bars, essentially, or pemmican.
Okay. Yeah.
And raw meat. I don't want to eat raw ground beef. There's just way too many points of entry for bacteria and stuff. So no thanks.
I don't think you're supposed to eat ground beef raw. I think
me either.
Because of that. But like a steak, you can eat it pretty raw. Yeah. But
I like my steak pretty close to rare, I guess. I have a video on my channel making a tomahawk. That was fun. I liked that. It tasted so good too. And I think I cooked it rare or medium rare or something like that. It was really good. And I remember it being a super good steak. I tried to eat all of it. I think it weighed 3.5 pounds. I couldn't do it. If I tried that again, I probably could do it.
Nice.
But yeah, that was a fun video to do. I enjoyed that one.
Fun. So, I ate a 30-ounce ribeye a couple nights ago, and that was really hard for me to eat the whole thing.
Yeah, recently the most I ate was, I think it was 2 pounds of 70/30 ground beef in the form of burgers. And I ate it one sitting. It was like, that felt so cool. Felt good. I was like, just ate so much.
I love that. Were you able to like fast for a long period of time after that?
Not really. I have done fasting before. I think the longest fast I did in the past was 10 days.
Oh, wow.
I did it with my dad and my uncle because they were just like, hey, you want to try doing a 10-day fast? I was like, sure, why not? I've done 3 days and 2 days before. I'll try for 10. Why not? That was horrible. Probably some of the worst 10 days of my life. Those were horrible. I lost, how much did I lose? Like 20 pounds.
Wow.
I gained back like 15 of them. But
yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. It was so bad. We went roller skating and stuff. I remember literally sitting down at one of the tables where everyone was like eating pizza and stuff and just being like zoned out and being like, this sucks. This is so terrible. And it was like day 5 and I was like, I got to do this for a whole nother 5 days. So yeah. But now it's easier. I did do it. Yeah. And that was such a strength. That's why I was saying like carnivore is easy to do in front of a bunch of people and not eat their food, because I've done stuff like that in the past. And I've kind of built up my willpower to something where carnivore is like a walk in the park.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Ooh, I haven't done a 10-day fast, but I could see how it would be hard. It would be hard for me because like I have kids and I do all the cooking, and I would just pop food in my mouth without thinking about it. At least it's carnivore food. Okay, Josephine, my son, 26, will come over in the next few days. I'm hoping to show him your channel so it can help anyone. Plus, you could be my brothers too. There you go. You're so cute. Everyone wants to adopt you now.
I can't be adopted. I currently have both my parents still.
Yeah. Okay, good.
And we have it lined up too. So if my parents unfortunately passed, my grandparents got me. So
okay, we're good. We're good.
It's all set up. No chances, guys. You can't adopt me.
Yeah. Somebody wants to know, how did Caleb pass the time while fasting 10 days?
By 2 things: thinking about food and watching mukbang or mukbang videos of people eating food, and watching food videos and watching other people eat food and smelling food. I kid you not, I tortured myself for 10 days.
You literally tortured yourself.
I did. It felt so good in a weird way to like watch the food videos when I hadn't eaten in like a week. It was nuts. But yeah, that's how I got through that. Definitely not optimal for the majority of the population, but it works for me, and I don't know why. Even now, if I'm like hungry and my food is cooking, I'll go watch a video of someone punching food because I just like watching them. It's weird.
Oh my God. If I was fasting, I literally could not do watching food videos.
I had no energy, so I literally couldn't do anything else. I literally didn't want to do anything.
No.
AP
has a question, so you're gonna have a funny answer for this one. Caleb, does your school encourage sports? I was in a class that was just exercising.
Yeah, my mom kind of encourages sports. I'm homeschooled, so
exactly.
So the whole sports thing is kind of whatever, up in the air. I've done flag football, a homeschool flag football thing. I've always been pretty good at running for my size. I was always the person who, like, in tag, I would get chased because I was the fat kid, but the majority of people couldn't actually catch me because I ran faster than they expected me to run. So I'd be like 5'4" at 220 pounds running as fast as the, 5'10" kid who was 160 pounds. And I'd be able to run as fast as he could. So that I was pretty active. I was able to run. I've retained the ability to run for a long time. And still been able to run pretty good. I haven't run a lot recently. I've been indoors a lot because I've been working and we've moved and I've been busy. But as far as sports go, the only two sports that I would ever consider being a part in is arm wrestling, because I just love to arm wrestle. I literally own a professional table literally over there. I bought one for like $300 or something, and just because I wanted to have a fair way to arm wrestle people. And powerlifting, which is like, compared to your weight, how much weight can you lift off the ground? So it's like your max squat, bench, and deadlift combined. Is it more weight than the other contestants and stuff? So those are the only two sports I would consider getting into. And then, actually, I take it back a third, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My strong point on my body are my legs, my traps, and my forearms. Yeah. And my dad used to do martial arts a lot when he was younger. And he said those are going to be some of the most important muscles for grappling. And I've always liked to grapple. And actually, recently, I met a kid who likes to grapple and stuff. And he actually said, hey, I want to show you a takedown that I know. Want to see my favorite takedown? And he essentially attempted the takedown on me. But I probably weighed 50 pounds more than he did. So he couldn't get his leg around mine and actually trip me. He wasn't strong enough for it. So I essentially threw him to the ground. He got me in an arm bar, so my arm is out like this. And I was able to actually curl his body back up and get out of the arm bar. And he was like, dude, you need to come start doing jiu-jitsu with me. I've never had someone curl me out of an arm bar. And he's like, you should totally start doing jiu-jitsu. And I've wanted to do it for a while. I like to grapple. It's fun. So, yeah, those would be the sports I would get into.
Here we go. We got Burns got another question. Does Caleb grill meat? What's his primary method of cooking?
So for my mom's birthday, me, my dad, and my brother Levi bought her a huge stainless steel griddle. So I use that primarily, the air fryer. And if I ever make burgers, if I'm doing handmade burgers, I'll do them on the grill. If they're like frozen burgers, I'll do them in the air fryer. But yeah, nice. I do use the grill. I like it for like whole pieces of meat. It gives it a better flavor, in my opinion.
Sure. And with that said, CB Carmack, tell Caleb to enter #tasty to win an air fryer. You want to put #tasty in your chat in the comments?
If I could find it, yeah.
Oh no! Yeah, he's on his phone. We might lose him.
I know, yeah. So something like, let's see if we can make this work.
#tasty. So everybody else, can y'all put #tasty into the chat so that we can we want to get a bunch of people potentially winning. We're giving away 2 air fryers. Oh, we got to give it away in the next few minutes, actually. So in the next 2 minutes, we're going to do the giveaways for the air fryers. I would love to see everybody get a chance to win. So put your #tasty in there. Let me see. somebody asked the question, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I don't believe Josephine was here, so let's talk about this again. Do you think this way of eating can help mental health?
Absolutely. I think so for sure. Your brain runs on cholesterol and fat and is made of cholesterol and fat. So eating more amounts of what your brain uses as fuel should make the brain work better. And I think recently I heard a story about this guy essentially putting his schizophrenia into remission.
Right.
And I thought that was super cool. And I was like, so you're telling me that just eating this way can put things that extreme in remission? Sounds like it checks out.
Yeah, crazy. And there's like actual evidence of that. There's story after story about that.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I actually just told, I went to youth group yesterday, and I was talking to some people, and someone mentioned that one of his friends' grandma has dementia.
yeah.
And I was like, I gotta tell this person about carnivore now. I was like, I gotta just let them know, hey, go look up like Dr. Sean Baker in dementia or Jordan Peterson in dementia, because they talk about it the most, I think.
Yeah.
So I was like, just go look them up, go look at carnivore. I told them, a couple of the benefits I've had. I find that younger people are a lot less receiving of carnivore than older people, because most of the people that I've talked to actually have heard about carnivore before.
Yeah.
But the young people just don't receive it very well, it seems.
Sure.
And I think it's because they just think it's extreme, and anything that the young people think is extreme, they think is extreme. And it's very hard to change their minds and opinions.
Right.
So
it's not just young people, it's anybody, by the way, any age.
Yeah, I think it's I think a lot of people's paradigms are very closed-minded.
Right.
Not very many people are open to a lot of things. And my dad is a very open-minded person, and he's taught me to be open-minded. So I'm just used to being open-minded and being around open-minded people. So I feel like, to me, it's kind of strange when I'm around, the average person, and they're all very closed-minded. They only think one way.
Right. Yeah, I understand. I feel that pain. Okay, let's see here. All right, let me just make sure there's no other. Did you get Tasty into the chat?
Yeah, I think so, on here at least.
But it's Tasty, T-A-S-T-E-E.
I have no idea. Yeah, I can spell it. Yeah, I was able to get it in the chat on here. I don't know if that's the same chat, but
I think so. I mean, I'm not paying attention to who's popping up. I just want to make sure before we. Let me see. I want to make sure. Okay, good. We're doing it. Let's just do the first giveaway. Share screen. I have to say, this is US only, I found out. So if you are not in the US, you're not going to be able to win. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Charlie. Here we go. Giveaway number 1. Drum roll. Yay, Nate Bro. Congratulations, Nate Bro. Please email me at alia@drkiltz.com. I need to have your address, your real name, your address, and your phone number so that the company can ship them out. alia@drkiltz.com. There we go. So yeah, email me and we'll make sure you get that. All right, let's do number 2. Another round of applause. Drum roll. Yay, Kimberly M. Congratulations. You're getting a Tasty. If you won last week, though, I hope you didn't win last week. We can't give away to the same person. I'm not remembering everybody who won. So we're going to do this tomorrow and Wednesday, and that'll be 10 Tasty air fryers that Tasty's giving away. There you go. Congratulations, winners. Please email me. All right, Caleb, what do you want to say? Because we're almost at an hour. Do you have any final thoughts that you like to communicate?
A little bit. I
Sure.
think a huge thing to hammer home for any teens who do want to do carnivore and maybe have tried carnivore and failed is that failure isn't necessarily failure. It's just your journey being longer than you think it's going to be. And as long as you get back up and try again, you haven't failed. You're not alone. You are loved. God's looking out for you. Jesus loves you. And come check out my channel if you want.
Yeah, come check out his channel. Oh, you're going to make me cry. Oh, you're so sweet. Hey, Kilts, get out of bed. He went to sleep at 1 a.m. He's got a lot of work to do today. He's a doctor. He does doctor stuff. We need to make sure he's got enough sleep. But he'll be back tomorrow. I will not be back tomorrow. I'll be going home and I'll be on a flight. So I'll be at the airport. I'm not going to be trying. I'll be on a plane. But I will be back Wednesday. Burns Aquatics. Thanks, Alia and Caleb. Yeah, thank you so much, Caleb. It's so early in the morning. You didn't sleep last night just so you could be here with us today.
Yeah.
I
had a good time.
Yeah, me too. And I want to say thank you, everybody, for your kind words that I did a good job this morning. I appreciate that because sometimes so my job is I'm the moderator. So I'm in the chat and I haven't been able to do that today. I've just been trying. So sorry if your comments aren't being answered. That's what happens. It's hard to run the show and be the moderator, but I'm glad we got the questions. I'm so happy to meet you. And we're going to set up a time when you come onto the Zoom also.
Okay.
Yeah. So we do on Monday night at 5:30 Eastern, we do a Zoom call in the Mighty Tribe. So that's Dr. Kiltz's group. If you want, you can join the group. It's free, by the way. It's like a little where there's like a little community. And Dr. Kiltz says, yeah, we need to get him on the Zoom call. He wanted to talk to you also for sure.
Yeah. I talked to him for a minute when he was on Steak and Butter Gangs, the Steak and Butter Gangs call one time. I talked to him for a bit, talked to him about parasites and stuff. And he's super easy to talk to. I really like talking to him.
He is. He's the best. Somebody again asked what your channel was. So I just want to pop it up again. And here we go. And put it in the chat. Everybody subscribe to Caleb's channel and share it with young people. There we go. All right, Caleb. Well, I think that's it. I think we're done. I think we're done for the day. Yeah. Yeah, I know we have like 3 minutes left, but we got no more comments. And I'm like, yeah, we're done. Time for us to go back to bed. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let me answer this question. Who is on the Zoom call today? We're having Lash, Stephen Lashbrook. He goes by Lash. He had 30 years of terrible eczema, condition worse than eczema, all over his body. So he's going to talk about that. He's doing Lion right now, and he's going to talk about a retreat that he's putting together to help people. There you go. Lash. Be there, be square. Okay, everybody.
Show up to that today.
You should. Join.
I probably could.
Totally. Sorry. Like I said, it's free. Kilt's Mighty Tribe. Yeah, we got to go now. My cough started.
Yeah, I get it.
There's I'm in Nashville right now, and there's pollen, and I've had this thing bothering me. So There you go. All right, everybody. Love y'all. Talk to you later. Goodbye.